we'll launch a quick poll. Hopefully the poll pops up for everyone and it's working. Let me know if it's not. So basically, we just want to know, how prepared are you for the agent linking? Obviously, everyone's getting on here because agent linking is not easy for everyone, and it has been a interesting few weeks for everyone. So just while everyone's joining, throw up the quick poll. And in case you're wondering, we're Albury, so on the border of Albury-Wodonga. We're in between Sydney and Melbourne. So lots of votes in there because I think I'm going with everyone else with WTF.
And for those that joined a little bit later, that we're recording this as well, so you can turn your cameras off and mute yourself. That'll be great.
And I think that's pretty good for the polls list. The results in and the poll. So most people have created something. Some people are waiting for us, and I think generally everyone's just trying to figure out their way, their processes through it. So I'll end the poll there, and we'll get started. So we've obviously, if we get time today, we'll touch on the new features with the re-engagement if time permits. We'll see how we go for Seamlss, but that's only if time permits and everyone's happy to stay on. Obviously, the main thing here is the re-engage, the agent linking. So it's a way for your clients to now link with you as a BAS or tax agent. So they have to do that from their business portal, not from your tax agent portal. So you can still add individual clients and sole traders to your tax agent portal like normal. When doing that, you'll obviously have to still do your verification processes. Started last Monday. We've still got that risk of BAS agents getting kicked off. And I think that's just about having that communication process with the client to ensure that they're not kicking you off as a BAS agent when they're adding their tax agent. And of course, we'll include our freebie in the email to everyone at the end. So far, it's had a couple hundred downloads already, so that's fantastic to hear. People are getting some use of it, which is probably what some people have already done in the meantime. The challenges, I think, is mostly because everyone's seeing it as it's client-driven. The clients are the ones that are going to have to do this. So we're going to have to hold their hand or give them some good guidance and try and avoid that position of confusion for the client where they're used to you being the agent and the expert doing everything for them. And I think that's just going to be key. So try and make it as seamless and easy as possible, whether you are using Seamlss or not. And overall, the other thing I really want to avoid is clients contacting us. Like, if everyone remembers what it was like with the director ID and clients trying to get through that process, it was such a pain. And they're just constantly contacting us and trying to get through that point. And that's why I've gone here. Hopefully she can talk to that point a little bit around those pain points with clients.
Yeah, for sure. And what we found, like the perfect example that Clayton just brought up was with the director ID, is that we couldn't actually see the interface that they were on. You can't help them with the MyGov ID. It's something that they have to do on their own and get support, outside support, which I'm sure you're all aware of. But the guide they did give us as the in there and linking it wasn't too bad, so I could have an idea of what they were seeing. And that's, I suppose, what Clayton and Daniel have worked on building, is something that when the client's in there trying to do the agent linking, you can have an idea of what they're looking at, so you can talk them through it, like where it is on the screen, where they need to click, so you can be quite specific.
Similar to the Seamlss PDF guide that everyone will get at the end of this session as well, you'll also get that guide that you'll be able to utilize. Even if you're not a Seamlss subscriber, you'll still be able to utilize that guide to give them a specific walkthrough of steps. It's got images, it's got links, it steps the client through that process, trying to make it as easy and as seamless as possible. So hopefully that helps everyone with the agent linking so far. I think the number one thing is that everyone's concerned about was the strength. So I'll touch on strength in a minute around, you've obviously got to have a strong position on your MyGov ID app in order to do the agent linking, but there is a way around that with making some things. So we'll jump into the demo with Seamlss, and I'll show you the agent linking, I'll show you the steps and all of the things that we've created. So This is the Seamlss dashboard. When you get a client and you're going to onboard them, just click on the Add Client button. We're going to put in their details here. So in this case, I've already created the client, but we're going to do Luca Dolly, put his email in here. This is just as an example. You put their details in. You'd also put their entity in. So if you know what their entity name is, you can add it in there. With Seamlss, you can add many entity types. So whether it's a trust, a trustee company, or an SMSF, whatever it is that it looks like, you put it in there. So when you're talking to the client, you get those details so you can email it off to them. Now, with the verification, Seamlss has got source identity that you can request specific documents, or the Stripe identity check, which is DBS. It takes a photo of them and their license and compares them to verification. With agent linking, the ATOs noted on their site that now you don't need to do a verification for agent linking. So if you're adding an individual only, you would still do verification. If they've added a company, you can skip the verification. I think that you still should be doing the verification if you're unsure on the client. It's a fully digital client. You still should be making sure they are who they say they are, being diligent in that process. So, yep, you can skip it, but I think it's probably best practice to still look at the identity verification process. With Seamlss, you can also add custom forms. So you can add a custom form when they're onboarding. So it could be collecting their annual financial statements from last financial year. It could be collecting their tax return, their trust deeds. Whatever it is that you want to put on that custom form is what you could be putting on there. It could be a capital gains questionnaire. Adding that in there and collecting that data on the way. You can also do tax return, collection information. I might touch on that in a minute. And then you've got your engagement letter, which the client's going to sign when they're onboarding with Seamlss. Add that client, that will send off a link. The client will get the link, and then they will come to the onboarding process. I've got one created here already that I'm going to get started with. All going well. Hopefully the, as we all know, technology just works, doesn't it? So this is how it will work. Client gets the link. They click the link. They get an SMS to log in. So it makes it really easy. And then they get this dashboard approach of how they're going to go through the process to become your client. So I'm going to fill in the details. I've already filled in some of it. And I'll quickly rush through this for everyone so that you don't have to bore you with keying in data. Tax file numbers are validated and they are required in this case. So they will need to make sure that the tax file number is correct. BSB is also validated and confirmed. So the client will need to put in a valid BSB to get the correct bank details to show up. There's a lot of validation going on in the in the form. Tax return, date of birth. Yeah, that's fair enough. There's also not date of birth, and you can't use my phone number. You have to have a unique phone number and email for every client. I've already used my own phone number. Clearly, I've used this fake number too. Save. So the other beautiful thing of Seamlss is that it will look up on ABR, look up the business names, and you'll be able to select it from a list. So they can select it from the list, or they can add a ABN like that, and it'll look it up and import the data. So it'll fill in the ACN, ABN, and the state in which it's registered. So there's a lot of validation going on in this app, and that's key because if you're onboarding clients and their entities, then you really want the data to be coming through to be correct, because we're going to utilize that data in our practice management solutions. In this case, I've asked for a custom form to be filled out. So you can upload your last year's financial statements, the tax return, rental property statement to the previous accountant. Then we're going to sign the tax return, sign the engagement letter. So Luca is going to sign the tax return, get the completed message. So it says, welcome to Business Edge or your advisory firm, whatever you're going to call it. And then if you've added an entity, it will also display the agent linking process. So it gives you a quick step guide here. You can edit all of this. It's also going to list your tax file, tax agent number and name that they're going to search for. and it includes both the links for the ATO and our guide. If you click on our guide, this is what's going to help your clients step through the process. It's so easy the way it's made. Most clients have got a MyGov ID set up from the director ID process. So most are just going to click yes. If by chance that they don't, they click no, they can click on the link and they can get started setting up their MyGov ID. It also talks about that they need the strong strength, and we've also given them the phone number to ring and harass the ATO because they don't get a strong outcome. If you're like me, I don't have a valid passport, I couldn't get strong. I had to ring the ATO to get authorization to get agent linking and all those things working. So once you've got that set up, yeah, 5 steps through, it will list their entities. So the entity that we just onboarded for Luca, you can see it right here. That's the one that I just added. It's taking you to say, you've got to add this entity to the RAM. Yep, I've done that. Now let's get started on the agent linking. Again, it's got a quick link there so they can get started, start logging in and start doing the process. List the tax and details so that the client can just start doing the process. The details that they need to link to you are there on the screen. Step-by-step screen or a screen process shown on the screen there. And they can also let you know when it's done. So if they're doing it now live while they're in the process, they can click that update. It will send you an email notification as the firm to say Luca has onboarded. So if we go back into Seamlss now, and as the admin person, they're going to come in here, go to the entities, and now you can see that it's marked as linked. So that's just fantastic to say that there's a process around confirming and not confirming whether it's linked. Maybe the admin team member gets in there and goes, they haven't linked, they haven't sent it, I'm going to update it and make it marked as not linked. What does that mean? Well, that means now that it's going to be shown as not linked because Luca lied, because God forbid a client do what you've asked them. Send them a reminder. So now we can tick who we're going to send. So if they've got multiple entities, you'll be able to send a reminder for one or many of them. Send a reminder, that'll send an email reminder to Luca, again with those processes on onboarding, so to do the agent linking. So the agent linking email reminder, you can edit that content and make it your own. So that's what that will look like. So that will send Luca the reminder to link his entity. Here's the onboarding messages. Again, we want you to be able to have your own brand tone. So it'll have your logo, it will have your text in your tone. Agent linking instructions are right here. You can fill this out and adjust it to whatever you want. Based on the feedback we kept editing and updating, the guide is on, I think it's on version 4 or 5 now. So each time someone suggests something, we just make it a little bit better. And that is our goal, is to make it really easy and step through that process. So in the case before with Luca, you've seen all the different entities. Because I'm now logged in as me, you'll see different entities. The agent details are the same because that's pulling from Seamlss, my details. It's also showing different entities that are or are not linked. So each time the client is logged in, it's pulling their details from Seamlss and your firm's details. And I think that's really important to make sure that it's really easy for the client and really easy for the firm. With the settings, the agent linking is just in settings here to set up. You can turn it on, click on general, turn on agent linking, put in your BAS tax agent details, and that's the information that will pull through into the form. So notification wise, you can dictate who gets the notifications for agent linking. And I think I've probably talked way too fast, Celeste. Hopefully too fast that I made it fast enough for everyone to get it in, not take up too much time.
Well, I think these days with the amount of webinars that we all attend, we like it when it's quick and snappy and shows us through. I just want to note though, with the developer, Daniel, who with Seamlss, the co-director, co-founder, I can already see improvements you guys have made within what, a week, 2 weeks of agent linking being up and running. So yeah, it's really cool. Well done. Like, so keep bringing feedback in if you're using it and you've got better ideas or something you want different.
If you have a better flow process, because I am unaware of anything better than what we've got. The biggest thing with ATO is, there is no process for them to notify you. So that's why we do the app, so that people can be notified to let them know to go into the ATO portal and pull them in.
Yeah.
I think that's the demo part of agent linking over. I really wanted to understand the The whole point of Seamlss is to onboard the clients and make that process really seamless and easy. The thing is a lot of people are using different forms. You've got the forms, you've got a verification form, you've got an engagement letter form. We've made that whole process seamless within Seamlss because we wanted it to just flow. So the client gets a link, they log in with an SMS. There's no passwords or anything for the client to remember. It's still got all the security aspects. Nothing is going over email. So all those secure documents and information is all held within Seamlss. It's all hands off for firms. You can key in the data, or you can make the client key in more of the data. It's all branded towards the firm. And yeah, I think the benefits are massive as far as the firms are concerned. The next step is around the re-engagement. So a lot of people, that's why I'll go through re-engagement in a minute, but the whole point of this is Seamlss will onboard the client and then you'll be able to re-engage them and collect the data every year, so confirm the details. Many firms don't have any process for confirming clients' details, which, you know, I'm sure no one's ever sent out a tax return with the wrong address or bank details on it, because that just doesn't happen. But the idea with Seamlss is to avoid that. So we're going to call in Celeste's job. I'm going to send her off a re-engagement process. She'll confirm her details are correct. She can upload her bank statements and her loan statements or anything else I need to complete her job, sign an engagement letter, and then it comes back, and then we can get started on that job. Is there any questions, Celeste?
Yeah, there definitely is. So
Cool.
we've got one from Nationwide Bass. So this was sort of back at the beginning of the session. Was if you need to have a unique phone and email for a client, does that mean that you have all related entities within the one? So I suppose it's about, you know, how you might only have one contact person and the entity might have multiples or same phone numbers.
So you can have, Clayton Wood can have multiple entities. We're still working on the relationships for Zero Practice Manager. And that's probably what you're hinting at there a little bit as well. You can onboard Clayton with his entities and Celeste with her entities. You can also pull them in from the data center from Zero Practice Manager. So when you've got Zero Practice Manager, you can import the client and then import their trusts and add them to that client to onboard and engage. Does that answer the question? Maybe.
Hopefully. Another one from Jade was, did the admin team get notified when the linking has been completed? I think it's just on that dashboard, isn't it, that it's coming up?
Yeah. So when the client updates the linked entities, that will send off an email to the firm.
Great.
So it automatically link to XPM. It doesn't automatically link. You will push the data to XPM. I'll show you that now. So if I go to Clayton. So you can push data to XPM with Seamlss. And so right now, Seamlss is going to look up my Zero Practice Manager. There's about 20,000 clients in there, so it's going to take some time. But it will come back and you can push or pull data to XPM. It will automatically determine what it thinks it needs, but you can sync and merge that data instantaneously and then get started. And if it's a tax return client, you can basically almost start a tax return straight away. The Zero Practice Manager API hasn't been updated since they bought it from Workflow Max, so we can't import BSB or verification details yet. We have asked for access, but in the meantime, we added the copy and paste buttons to improve that. Seamlss will also look up and try and match entities. So if it thinks there's a matched on address, name, ABN, ACN, whatever, it will suggest that there's a match, and you can decide that to ensure that XPM is your single source of truth. Same with, you can just say, no, it's not, it's a new company. If it can't find any match, it will just suggest you sync it as a new entity. So that's how you can sync the data or pull the data from XPM into Seamlss. There's a couple of different ways there.
Yep. Great. I've got another question from Rob. So what type of security you use for enabling clients to upload their documents?
So it is a secure link sent to their email and an SMS code to log in. So there's no passwords or anything like that. It's all encrypted, bank level security in that regard. It's all hosted on Azure, Microsoft web servers. Yeah.
Cool. And does this integrate with Access Group's product?
Access Group's product. I think on the roadmap, we've probably got GreatSoft as something that we want to log into, but from all discussions I've had, even with the mild product team, there's no way to import into my AOAE. Some people suggest you might be able to do it with Reckon's product. I can't remember what that's called, APS or something. But again, no one's been able to give me a file type to allow us to export a CSV to import it into that app. Our short-term roadmap is to, the next integration will come to FYI docs, which we just got the API last week to start building. We requested a couple of months ago, but we've got it now, so we'll start building that API straight away. That will allow the documents just to go from Seamlss straight into your FYI cabinets.
Cool, that's exciting. There are a couple of other questions, just small ones, and we've already answered. Mary asked a question, but I think we've answered that now, which is great. But we've got another one here. So could we get a short demo on how Seamlss works with Practice Ignition?
So with Practice Ignition, that's pretty quick and easy. So if you're using, there's two ways that firms onboard clients. That is, you either have a big hole and it's like, any client, come on board, let's have a meeting, send out a proposal, let's get it going. Some firms have a smaller hole, I feel, where it's like, you need to pass all of our tests in order to get in here. So they will onboard the client, do a fact find, check out their ATO portal reports and all that sort of stuff. So you either send a proposal, then onboard them, or you onboard them, then send a proposal. If you're sending a proposal and then onboarding, you get a unique link from Seamlss that you can import into Ignition, the link, and I'll show you that in a second, and they can key in the details and start adding entities and start onboarding themselves via that link. And that is a unique firm link. It will be branded with your firm. There is a little help guide here on how to do that. So if anyone's using Ignition, you'll see that in Ignition, there's a little message at the end that says, thanks for coming on board, and that's where you can put your Seamlss unique link for your firm.
Great.
Yes, there's no Zapier way because I'm pretty sure Ignition has first and last name in one cell.
Yeah.
So you can't, and there's no mobile phone number in Ignition either, I think. So the two things we need is separate name and first name, last name, and the email and phone number. So in order to onboard someone securely, we need those four things.
Yeah, and phone number is not mandatory in Practice Ignition because obviously we use it ourselves. Another question, so what about being able to import the client's details into a CCHI firm? So excuse my ignorance.
CCHI firm, it doesn't import directly into there. If you are aware of a CSV import function into iFirm, let us know. If there's an API, let us know. We can investigate that and see if we can put that on our roadmap. The CSV is probably one of the other things we're going to be working on. So in the data center, you can export all of your clients. One of the things that we're going to allow is the export of an individual client and their entities. So if there are apps out there that you can just take that data and drop it into, it'll happen by CSV. Yep, so if there's a CSV import into, hey, awesome. Give us an example file, and then I can get the dev team to build that file out for you. So you can just click a button, drop it into the CCHI firm, and you're away. Saving all the data keying, because the more keying of data between different apps, the more likely it is. If the client didn't key it in, you already got a problem. If your admin team miskeyed it, you've got another problem. But there's just more data points. The whole idea is to get the data to flow from the client directly into your management tool. So
yeah, true source. There was only one other question, was does it work with Better Proposal?
I'm not sure what Better Proposal is. You can, so basically there's a Zapier connection. With Zapier, many firms like mine, we use Calendly, and some people are using Acuity. Those apps that work with Zapier, you can connect it to Zapier. Again, if you get their first name, last name, email, phone number, so Better Proposal collects those details. You can pull them in from Zapier, and those clients will show up on the dashboard in here. So you'll see on this example, here is Zapier. It's pulled in the details, and you can review and send for onboarding. So in our firm, these details are flowing straight through from Calendly. So my team never keys in a phone number, an email, or a name from a client if they booked in, because the data is just flowing from Seamlss, from Calendly all the way through to Xero Practice Manager. Is that it?
Yep, that's it for your questions.
Cool.
So
Cool. If anyone wants to see, what I'll show now is just quickly is the re-engagement function. So I know that a lot of firms use Ignition for re-engagement, and I think a lot of firms do it sporadically throughout the year, and a lot of firms are doing it all in June. You're sending out one proposal in June to all your clients and getting them onboarded. And that's awesome. They sign the engagement letter. But then when you do the job in December or January, the clients move, change banks, whatever, all those different things. So the whole purpose of the re-engagement process is so that you can send a re-engagement request. So I'm just going to click on review re-engagement. Here's Clayton Wood. Here's all of his entities. You can add new ones, and you can, of course, add a custom form. So in this case, I'm just going to add the same form that I had before. Send that. Maybe we'll ask for, maybe Clayton sold property, so ask a capital gains question as well. You can also do the tax return. So if you just had like a lot of I returns, you could utilize the ITR form in Seamlss. It's more customized and dynamic in the way it handles tax returns. So there's a couple of options there where you could create your own custom form or use the ITR form. Then they can sign the engagement letter. So if you're using Ignition and you're like, no, I'm only signing one, you could skip it. Personally, we get our clients to sign both. I don't really care if they sign it twice. I've never had a client go, oh, I'm not signing my engagement letter again. They don't care, but at least you know that all of the entities are listed. Unfortunately, we're not, we might miss an entity on an engagement letter for an Ignition proposal, so therefore we know we're picking it up in Seamlss. So I'm going to save and send that for re-engagement. That would send off a link to Clayton Wood. He'll get a link. He'll get a SMS and log in. Because I'm a firm user and a client, I can click on the logo and switch between the two. So I'm going to log into my client area, and this is what it looks like for clients. So there's all the requests, there's the fetch requests, and there's the documents here with all my engagement letters and things that I can download as a client. If it was a normal process for a client, they would get that link, they would click in, and they will land straight on the page, just like you've seen before. So Clayton, have these details changed? Updated? Yes, no, they're the same. I'm all good. The app will move on to the next one. Have these details, are they the same? No, that company's the same. I'm good. So basically, it'll step through this process each time, and the client will be able to update their bank address and all that sort of stuff. Then at the end, the firm will be able to push all those updates into Seamlss. So this one's saying that has it changed? No, keep going. Oh, skip that. So here's my request for documents. You can see I've already done it before. So here's my old mate. It's just for a bit of fun. So there's my documents. Here's my capital gains questionnaire. So, upload my settlement statements, could be my stamp duty, all those questions that you've got for a capital gains. Again, whatever you're asking in that re-engagement process, it's up to your firm. You can build out these forms however you like and suited to your firm. Have your own tone, have your own questions. The tax return, this is the custom tax return developed by Seamlss. So you could have whatever you want, but it's looking up ANSIC codes so you're getting the right information. Are they, maybe they're on a visa. Again, it's all dynamic. It's going to change each time you click through it. Dividends, it'll put in the dividends, it'll work out the franking credit. So if you put $250 in there, it'll calculate it out. They can attach files, they can put in comments. The other big one that everyone loves is the rental properties. So you can ask for the details, the rent, the expenses, and upload the documents. Put in additional comments, save it, add another one, have as many rental properties as you want. And then I'm going to continue on. Deductions, again, it's all dynamic. So you're getting, the kilometers, or is it a logbook method? Are you asking and getting all the right answers and information from the client? And that's what is key, is that it's asking all those questions that you need answered in order to prepare their tax return. Again, descriptions, amounts, work usage, upload a file, continue on. Do they have a spouse or not? Yes, they've got kids, they've got spouse, put in the spouse's details, maybe they've got a medical leave exemption, maybe they're in the Defence Force. Continue on, they can put in a note when they want to get it done by, fee from refund, save and finish. So that's the tax return form for Seamlss, and you'll be able to use that for your clients, basically. What have I missed? Save and finish. Broken it somehow, Celeste. Broken it. Technology. What did I change? I don't know. But it should have went to the end and signed the engagement letter.
It might be because you got a few outstanding requests down the bottom there. Yeah,
Well,
from previous demos.
it could be. But anyway, it'll ask the signed engagement letter, and then it'll go through that process. So then it'll obviously come back, and the admin team member will get a notification. They'll be able to pick it up completely on re-engagement, collect all those documents, and drop them into the folders to get the work papers to get them started. Longer, shorter term will be there for AI integration, where it'll be awesome when those documents just go from one spot to the next.
Yeah. So there are a couple more questions for you. So James asked if there was a template of this in Seamlss. That was when you were going through the ITR, when you were building it out, as into like rental properties and etc.
No. So the ITR one is a Seamlss specific form because it's all dynamically created and based on the actual tax return, because we wanted to collect the data as per the tax return and the questions. You could create your own in here. You can import from our templates. You can edit, you can add your own. If you wanted your own tax return template, you could keep it simpler, you could make it longer. But that one was designed specifically to make it quick and easy.
Is it updated annually as well, Clayton? Is
We
it
will,
things change?
We will create another one in 2024, yes.
Yeah, excellent. Okay, I've got another question. Is there a way to send out documents for clients during the onboarding process? So obviously you had re-engage, you said about attaching the documents, but on the actual onboarding process.
Is there a way to send out documents for clients?
I suppose it might be.
What sort of document would you want to send would be my question. I don't know. There's no way to send them documents. The whole point of this is to collect data.
And it's all in your templates as well that you're utilizing, that you as a firm can actually tailor it to your tone and pitch and whatever content you want in there. Ali asked, can you turn off the fee from refund option? I saw that.
Not yet. We have had a request for that. So I'm going to talk to Daniel about whether we can add that as a setting to turn off in the settings area so you can turn them on or off.
Yep. And is the fee for refund checkbox accompanied with a valid fee authority form of some kind?
No, so the checkbox is just so that you know that it won't fee from refund. The whole point of the tax return tool is so that you can get all the information from the client, and then the accountant can start building out the tax return. You put it into Zero Tax or APS, whatever tax tool it is you use, and then you can send it off to the client for e-signing via your e-signing app. So it's not a tax. It's not e-lodge or anything like that. The idea is just to collect those key points and those key details in order for you to complete the tax return.
Yeah, so they'll sign that valid fee authority form when they're e-signing the tax return because it's been nominated. Yeah.
Yes.
Like in XPM, obviously it does.
The official tax return.
Yes. All right. That's all for your questions.
Hopefully that was great, short and sharp enough for everyone today. Really appreciate everyone coming on board, and hopefully we've answered some questions. We'll send out the PDF for everyone to utilize. The PDF is similar to that part of the app that I went through, where you can guide the clients through the process of agent linking. So, and I understand Seamlss isn't for everyone because not everyone onboards clients or re-engages them on a regular basis. So I do want to make that available for everyone for free. Love feedback, love to make the app better. So send it in. We really want to improve Seamlss more and more. And keep following for more. Follow us online. Jump on the website. It's $550 for the whole year, and that's 1,200 requests. So that's a lot of re-engagements, a lot of fetch requests, a lot of onboarding for 1,200 requests. Is a lot. So, and if you do use it more than 1,200, we'll just tap on the shoulder and say, hey, upgrade your subscription. Thanks. So that's it for me today. Thanks everyone. Thanks for joining. We will end that and send out the recording to everyone. Thanks, Amy. Thanks for all of the support, and most of all, apologies for the last one where the app just didn't seem to work for us. But we managed through technical difficulties this time, and yeah, really looking forward to the next couple of weeks with a few more improvements. Daniel's got a few key cool things to update in the next week or two, so looking forward to it.